Hi children, welcome to the class. Today we will discuss on history chapter 10, the 18th century political formation, topics Watan jagirs and seizing independence. So in the last class we discussed about the emergence of new states. So we discussed on the old Mughal provinces Awadh, Bengal and Hyderabad and their founder, how they founded and what were their features. So today we will discuss on the Watan jagirs of Rajput. Watan jagirs of Rajput the Watan jagir is the land allotted to the Rajput governors. So Rajput governors they enjoyed a considerable freedom under the Mughal Empire and that is mainly in Amber and Jodhpur. Raja Ajit Singh was the Raja Ajit Singh of Jodhpur, he enjoyed the governorship of Gujarat, and Sawa Sairaj Singh of Amber. These were the prominent kings under this Watan jagirs. So children, please take page number 146, the Watan jagirs of the Rajputs. Many Rajput kings, particularly those belonging to Amber and Jodhpur, had served under the Mughals with distinction and they were enjoyed considerable autonomy. Autonomy means freedom under the Mughal Empire in their given Watan jagirs. So what they done is, first Raja Ajit Singh of Jodhpur, he annexed Nagaur and to the house of Jodhpur, and Savai Raja of Amber, he annexed the portions of Bundi. These 2 points you have to underline. Then Ajit Singh, the ruler of Jodhpur, was also involved in the factional politics of the Mughal court. So these people, these rulers, they started enjoying freedom or independence under their Watan jagirs allocated by the Mughal Empire. Next one is seizing independence. Seizing independence means states under the control of Sikhs, Marathas and Jats. These people also, group also enjoyed considerable freedom during the decline of Mughal Empire or the late 17th century. They become prominent. They become prominent and they enjoyed starting their own sovereign states. So first one we will study about seizing independence. First one is Sikhs. Under Guru Gobind Singh, Khalsa was established in 1699. So they enjoyed they declared Sikh or Punjab as a sovereign state. So page number 148, the organization of Sikhs into a political community during 17th century helped in regional state building of the Punjab. Underline. Several battles were fought by Guru Gobind Singh against the Rajput and Mughal rulers both before and after the institution of Khalsa in 1699. Underline that point also. Now how they done this? They declared their sovereignty by striking coins in the name of Guru Nanak and Guru Gobind Singh. Underline these 2 points also. And they established their own administration between the areas Satluj and Jamuna. Banda Bahadur was captured in 1715 and executed in 1716. This much points you have to underline in the first paragraph. So Sikhs rose under the leadership of Guru Gobind Singh. They enjoyed their sovereign state. They established their sovereignty by striking coins in the name of Guru Nanak and Guru Gobind Singh. Underline. And they established their leadership or ownership in the administration of Satluj and Jamuna. In the next page, page number 149, in the 18th century, the Sikhs organized themselves into bands called jadas. Underline this point, into a number of bands called jadas or later missals. This means they made themselves as a sovereign state. Their own freedom they established, and they also introduced a system called Ragi, which offers protection to cultivators on the payment of a tax of 20% of the produce. So if the farmers pay 20% of their produce as tax, then they give protection to these farmers. This system is known as Ragi. A system called Ragi was introduced by the Sikhs. Now in the next paragraph you have to underline Ahmad Shah Abdali, who had seized the rich province of the Punjab and the Sarkar of Sirhind from the Mughals. Underline that point. The Khalsa declared their sovereign rule by striking their own coin again in 1765. Then in the last paragraph, the Sikh territories in the late 18th century extended from Indus to Jamuna, but they were divided under different rulers. One of them, Maharaja Ranjit Singh, reunited these groups and established his capital in Lahore in 1799. So by 18th century, late 18th century, 6 territories were under the different fragments. Then who joined, reunited them? Maharaja Ranjit Singh reunited these groups and established the capital in Lahore in 1799. Underline the last point. Next one is Marathas. Marathas was also a powerful kingdom under the leadership of Shivaji. First point, underline, under the leadership of Shivaji, Maratha kingdom formed. Now, after Shivaji's death, Chitpavan Brahmanas, who were the successors of Shivaji, they declared as Peshwa. Peshwa means principal minister. Pune became the capital of Maratha kingdom. Pune became the capital of Maratha kingdom. Chitpavan Brahmanas, they served as Shivaji's successors as Peshwa. Peshwa means the ministers, principal minister. Now here also, Peshwas, they developed very successful military organization. Underline that line, page number 150. Under Peshwas, the Marathas developed a very successful military organization. And in the last second paragraph, last line, the Maratha king possessed the right to levy Chauth and Sardeshmukhi in the entire region. What is the meaning of Chauth? It is the tax collected from, land revenue collected from Zamindars. In the Deccan, this was collected by the Marathas. Sardeshmukhi is another kind of tax, 9 to 10% of the land revenue paid to the head revenue collector in the Deccan. So these 2 points you have to mark, Chauth and Sardeshmukhi. 1 mark question you will be getting out of this. Then after raiding Delhi in 1737, the frontiers of Maratha domination expanded rapidly. How the Maratha kingdom expanded? Into Rajasthan and Punjab in the north, into Bengal and Orissa in the east, into Karnataka and Tamil and Telugu countries in the south. Underline all these 3. These were not formally included in the Maratha Empire but were made to pay tribute as a way of accepting Maratha sovereignty. So they also have to pay taxes to the or tribute to the Maratha kingdom. Expansion brought enormous resources, but it came at a price. These military campaigns also made other rulers hostile towards the Marathas. As a result, they were not inclined to support the Marathas during the Third Battle of Panipat. Since they expanded the kingdom, the other rulers were not ready to accept Marathas and they didn't support Marathas in the Third Battle of Panipat. Underline the point. Now the Marathas developed effective administrative system as well. Once conquest had been completed and Maratha rule was secure, revenue demands were gradually introduced taking local conditions into account. Agriculture was encouraged and trade revived. Underline. This allowed Maratha chiefs like Scindia of Gwalior, Gaikwad of Baroda and Bhonsle of Nagpur the resources to raise powerful armies. Underline. Maratha campaigns into Malwa in the 1720s did not challenge the growth and prosperity of the cities in the region. That much you have to underline from the paragraph. Then new trade routes emerged within the areas controlled by the Marathas. This is very important. Underline. Maratha, they charged tributes, as we already said, they charged tribute from Rajasthan, Punjab, Karnataka, Tamil, Telugu and all. So how tributes are collected, we already studied. When the traders pass through a particular route, they have to pay tribute to the kings. So the new trade routes emerged within the area controlled by the Marathas. This caused enormous resources to the kingdom. The silk produced in Chanderi region now found a new outlet in Pune, the Maratha capital. Underline that point also. Then in the last line, The Marathas also expanded its hinterland to include Pune and Nagpur in the south and Lucknow and Allahabad in the east. That much you have to study from Maratha kingdom. The next one is the Jats. The Jats consolidated their power during the late 17th and 18th century under the leadership of Choraman. Underline that point. By 1680, they started dominating the region between the cities of Delhi and Agra. Underline. The Jats were prosperous agriculturalists and towns like Panipat and Balabag became important trading centers in the areas dominated by them. Underline the point. Under Suraj Mal, the kingdom of Bharatpur emerged as a strong state. Underline. That much you have to study from Jats. Then last paragraph, while the Bharatpur fort was built in a fairly traditional style, at Dik the Jats built an elaborate garden palace combining styles seen at Amber and Agra. Underline that point. Its buildings were modelled on architectural forms first associated with royalty under Shah Jahan. That much you have to study from Jats. So, seizing independence, you have to learn about the states who were under the control of Mughal Empire, how they become independent, like Sikh, Marathas and Jats. The important points whatever we discussed you need to study. And Watan jagirs of Rajput means the Rajput kings who enjoyed the autonomy on the given Watans or jagirs. That is all about this video. Thank you children. Have a nice day.